and welcome to another Bobster's podcast. And I'm here with a really good friend of mine, so many years now, Mindy Dougherty, who I've been trying to get on this show for so long, but couldn't. I don't know if it's just because of technology, if it's a technology thing. But listen, Mindy, thanks for coming on.
For
Hey,
sure.
about time, eh?
I know, right? It's my phone wasn't working with Zoom, so it was technology issues. I need to get a new laptop as well.
Oh man, honestly, and I was getting really frustrated about it because I'm getting lots of really good people on here, and I'm thinking to myself, it's like a friend, Mindy. I want to get her on, But yeah, it's just honestly, I'm just glad I've got you on now. It's absolutely great to have you on. So, have you had a good day today? Have you had a real nice day?
So far, so good. Yeah.
Excellent, fantastic. Right, well, I'm going to give you the first question here, Mindy. Okay, and it's like obviously I've known you for a while, and it's a good while I've known you now, and I just wanted to know, obviously from where you were, I mean, where you were born and part of America that you brought up in. What was family life like for you when you were like a little girl?
So, unfortunately, my family lifehood was very disruptive
Mm,
and abusive.
yeah.
So, I had to learn how to adapt to many different things, as well as I believe I'm on the autism spectrum, which I just found out about. So it makes sense as to why I've had so many learning disabilities and why it's been so hard
Mhm,
in the schooling system to actually learn and to remember my lines for movies and stuff like that.
mhm. Right. So, I mean, obviously it wasn't very good. I mean, when people grow up, I mean, obviously they have good times and bad times. I mean, did you have any good times when you were younger or?
I'm sure I did. Unfortunately, it was blasted with abuse, but
Oh,
to be honest with you, I've done so many things to enrich my life,
hmm
the modeling and acting and stuff like that when I was an adult or when I'm an adult now, that it precedes my childhood and it made me such a strong person that I don't know if I would have been able to deal with today's differences had I
hmm
not had all those obstacles to go through when I was younger, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And it's just it's when you have memories like that, I mean, I've got some friends that have had abusive memories, especially from school. Not so much from their parents, but just maybe because when they were at school, maybe they were like a little overweight and they got bullied for being fat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One of them was actually on the brink of taking his own life when he was very young. He must have been about 10 or 11 at the time. But yeah, but I
It's hard
mean,
because bullying reaches so many people, and I think that even when you're a child and you get bullied, that becomes like their way of adulthood as well. Because there's bullies as adults too, I've learned.
yeah.
And what I've learned to do is adapt to my intuition. And if my intuition, because it's so strong, especially
Mhm,
now that I've had all these things to adapt to with the military and coming out of the military and the things that happen in the military and the VA system, that it's made me such a strong person for my intuition that I really try to follow that. It's unfortunate that people need to make fun of people that are fat or different.
yeah. And the thing is, I mean, from a young age, it's like how it could affect people, could impact them as they get older as well. But I mean, yeah, I mean, you're a very strong person. I know that for a fact. Very
Yeah.
strong person. Which comes to why I asked you, why I'm going to ask you. I mean, you joined the army, didn't you? I mean,
I
what
joined the
made
army
you?
in 1995 to get
Yeah,
away from the family.
right.
And I was a combat medic, and I
Yeah.
learned my first training was actually from a flight surgeon. So I got to learn the best medical training in the
Mhm,
beginning. And then when I got out, I became a nurse. And then
mhm,
and then I wanted to specialize. So I became a trauma nurse. And then I became an interventional radiology nurse.
mhm. That's great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if someone was in the street and, just say they were bleeding to death, or if they were cut wide open, you'd be able to treat them and so
If I
forth.
had the right materials with me, yeah. Or take a sweatshirt and do what I can, yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's good to know that you could do something like that, and there's never normally people about when something like that happens, but if you're about, you could be quite useful.
Well, and
Absolutely.
I've actually saved lives when I was in the airport and I had the actual pilot had
Hmm.
dropped down and had a heart attack. So
Wow.
obviously he couldn't fly.
Hmm.
Um, but it was just such a poignant memory in my brain that that'll never like fail, and
Hmm.
I guess I'm really excited about what I've done in my life. I'm
Yeah.
now 36 years old and I've
Hmm.
been doing this since I was 18. So it's been quite a little time that I've been in the medical industry and seeing all the changes. Um, it's kind of saddening to be honest with you because it seems like Big Brother and the government's just taken over. And when that's the reason why I chose to go to Colombia to
Yeah.
get something called stem cells. And what they do is there's the placenta that comes out and then the umbilical cord with the baby. Yeah. So they take the umbilical cord and they take the stem cells and extract it out of the umbilical cord.
Hmm.
It's not attached to the baby. There's no baby fetus. There's nothing part of that, but it's just the umbilical cord that actually gets extracted. And they put that in with my blood and then injected it 200 billion stem cells throughout my whole spinal cord this last time.
Hmm.
And my neck is finally feeling, it's a little tight, but it's not as bad as it was before. And my
Hmm.
back feels so much better. I'm not having that inconsistent burning going from my foot all the way up to my brain.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long that'll last and how long, it'll stay muted kind
Yeah.
of or
Hmm.
softened.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely enjoying my time now. I mean, I feel lighter and I can answer people better and I
Hmm.
can understand people better.
Hmm.
It's just when that burning is hit, it's really hard to understand people or do anything really because the burning is literally like somebody poured gasoline, feathers, and tar right on you and just they light you on fire.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you feel an actual difference after getting that treatment done?
Oh, I feel 100% different. Even my brain, like I got brain detox and liver detox
Hmm.
to help formulate like thoughts and stuff like that and help get rid of the toxins that were in there to
Hmm.
begin with. And I really feel like I'm able to calm down and understand what people are saying. But not only that, I'm able to like be with you
Yeah.
instead of having all these other distractions. I'm able to actually concentrate and understand what you're saying and be with you in conversation.
Right. Okay. So that's good then. But the thing is, as well, I mean, before you got the treatment done, I mean, were you feeling like just no energy and just lethargic and stuff?
Well, this last time before I had gotten this last treatment, I literally was couch bound and I couldn't get up. I was so tired. My foot hurt. Um, my left foot was broken in multiple different places, and then that was healed and it's
Hmm.
healing. And so I was doing physical therapy, and then I slipped on tile and broke my third metatarsal now. So as soon as this heals, I'll be able to go to the gym again and start walking a little
Hmm.
bit more, and I'm excited to see the changes already now because I figure in 2 or 3 weeks, it's going to be even more. And in
Hmm.
the 2 or 3 months, it's going to be even better. So I
Good.
just feel like I'm just getting better and better and better.
Fantastic. Absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic. Now, I mean, obviously, obviously, you worked for the as American Army. I mean, when you were younger, when you were a little girl growing up, I mean, was there anything else that you wanted to do
I've
before
been
you
watching
joined them?
brain surgery since I was 5. So I've been interested in the medical field since I was very young. And, my mom would come in and what's this? Trying to cook. And she'd be hearing all these things in the living room. And she's like, well, try not to throw up. 'Cause she's like, she can't see any of the gourds, stuff like that. So turn this off. And they would turn it to cartoons. And as soon as she got back in the kitchen cooking, I was like, tink, brain surgery.
Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. I mean, I mean, did the army, I mean, did it change you as a person? Like, I mean, from that young, naive girl to maybe a tougher
The army
nutshell.
kind of made
Perfect.
me angry, actually. I came out very, very angry and very frustrated because
Mhm.
of the system. They
Yeah.
basically teach you um how to fight and how to go to war and all this other stuff, but there's no compensation for when you're coming out. There's no like, let's take some classes to teach you how to like process everything that you've just done or process everything. Where have you been? I was in Bosnia, Croatia, and Hungary in 1996, and it was supposed to be a peacekeeping mission. And when we got there, it wasn't very peaceful at all, actually. There was bombed out buildings when we had gotten there, and kids running around the street trying to sell cigarettes and stuff just to get some money. They're all broke. So it was a sad time during that peacekeeping mission. And I ended up getting a parasite in my gut. So I ended up getting appendicitis and pancreatitis at the same time, which could have killed me. But the appendicitis they fixed, pancreatitis was fixed at the time, but it came back for 8 years. And so while I had pancreatitis for 8 years, I was begging the medical system, please just do something or take this out because my pancreas is just hurting so bad.
Mhm.
And so when I finally got it taken out, I've been without pancreatitis, obviously, for had since 2004 now. I had my
Mhm.
pancreas taken out, my duodenum taken out. And previous to that, I had my appendix and my gallbladder taken out. So I've had so many different organs taken out, and I've had over 19 surgeries to try to correct this issue, but it just didn't get resolved until the pancreas actually came out.
Right. Honestly. God, you must have been in a lot of pain because that's a painful thing. Pancreatitis as
Yeah,
well.
you can die from pancreatitis, and there's something still keeping me here, though. I mean, like I said, I've had it for 8 years. And now that I know about stem cells, I wouldn't have had it taken out if I knew about stem cells before because it heals different things, and it can help cure certain ailments that are going on. However, the FDA won't approve that for the United States.
Yeah.
So I went to Colombia, like I said. There's some in Panama and Mexico as well, but I went with a company called BioAccelerator, and I really feel like they're the best. They're the number two in the whole world right now. So NFL players and UFC fighters and top athletes go to this place to get help because of
Mhm.
their neurological disorders. And now we're sending more vets there to get help. Because I want to get more firefighters, first responders, veterans, and police there so that we can really help our people that are helping others as well.
Mhm. That's good. That's good. And the thing is, as well, I suppose when you went over, once you got to know about the bio accelerator, that must have been a bit of an education for you as well, wasn't it?
Huge education piece because I had no idea that the medical community was hiding so much, to be honest with you. And I don't know how it is in Scotland, but in America, you pretty much have to fight just to get on certain meds that I
Mhm.
needed to help my bones. It took
Mhm.
me 6 years to fight to get on something called Prolia.
Mhm.
And if they had done this 6 years ago when they had listened, I would have only been in osteopenia and not in stage 4 osteoporosis. So it's
Mhm.
almost like they allow you to have cancer all the way to the end and then they want to fix you. Whereas in Colombia, they're like, let's fix the problem now.
Mhm. Wow.
And like
The
I
thing
said,
is,
I can move my neck, whereas before it was
mhm.
just I could move it, but it was like so painful to
Mhm.
move and my back and everything else.
Mhm.
And now, I find myself sleeping better as well.
Good. The thing is, as well, I mean, I suppose when did they give you like a neck brace as after
No,
you
actually,
went
it
all
was
done?
just injections and, go out the next day, which is totally different than America or any of the
Mhm.
others where they do put a brace on you and you're
Right.
out for months. Whereas
Mhm.
with the injections, you're only out for a couple days because you're sore and that's it. There's
Right.
no braces, there's no rods, there's no, anything else. It's just strictly stem cells, which is an amazing
Mhm.
force because it basically also regenerates cells. So there's smart
Mhm.
cells in there. that can basically find out what's wrong and go get those things and make it right. That's why they also tell you make sure you're following an anti-inflammatory diet, because it's really, really imperative to make all the inflammation try to go away. Otherwise, if you keep creating more inflammation, say I'm eating something in it and I'm allergic to it, or it creates a lot of inflammation, what it'll do is send in the inflammatory marks to the gut instead of where I need to get healed, which is my spinal cord. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And then
Yeah,
you
and
can
the
only
thing,
get stem cells like once a year, because our bodies can only contain so much. It's like a sponge. So with water, when you put in a sponge with those stem cells, you can only get so much, because if once it's filled, it can't fill anymore.
so I mean, what kind of foods were you talking? Maybe fruit, veg, proteins?
Yeah, it's certain inflammatory marks to beef,
Mhm.
bison, nuts, cherries, pineapples, um, and figs, which
Mhm.
right before my procedure, I didn't know, but I that's why I got these the blood work for the inflammatory marks. I didn't know everything I was eating was basically, so I was having all this pain and then I was adding more inflammatory markers
Yeah,
to it. So it's like you could take all the pills you want, but if you keep eating that stuff that's going to inflame you, like
yeah.
candy or sugar, or whatever your body has a problem with, then
Mhm.
it's just going to keep that inflammatory process going and your body's not going to heal properly.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, I'll tell you, coming out of that, that was very interesting. And it's like
Yeah.
I've kind of been I have been following your journey, especially when you went to Colombia. The thing is, one thing about the American medical system as well, I mean, the bills are shockingly high,
It's
isn't it?
totally expensive. There's probably my pancreatic surgery alone on one of them, just the Pusto alone costs over $150,000. And then the Whipple costs $375,000.
Mhm.
And those were taken care of after fighting for it for the VA, but I had to fight for over a year and a half to get my bills paid. It's like I
Mhm.
can't afford 500 grand plus. And then they finally took my pancreas out and my duodenum, and I ended up staying in the hospital for about a week. So that alone cost, I think, 350,000 as well.
Mhm. It's like,
Because
I mean, here in the UK, it's like, it's like unless you went private. I mean, we've got the National Health Service here, and it's like it's absolutely nothing. You don't
wow,
have to pay for your medical situation here. Like even if you went in for a big, massive operation, a life-saving op,
wow.
the NHS, it's free.
But do you guys pay a lot of taxes, or would you rather just pay the taxes and have your health?
Well, we tend to we do tend to pay quite a bit of tax, so maybe that kind of balances it all out, I suppose. But
I doubt it. I doubt that your taxes are as much as our bills. I think I'd almost rather pay the taxes and then get
yeah,
our health taken care of.
yeah. Although in the UK, I mean, like obviously in Scotland, we've got our own government here, which
Oh, that's true.
if we were fully independent, they'd be able to, how could I put it? They'd be able to control, like tax situations and stuff. But we're getting run by London, which, it's like when it comes to Scotland, they have you could say that they've got a visceral towards Scotland, and it's like when there's taxes, especially back in the 80s, Scotland was always the first place. They'd try out
Really?
different taxes and they would totally take the piss with it, but in saying that though, it's manageable just now. Things have been obviously since Britain left, like Brexit, since Britain left the European Union, like the price of money, so the price of food and you know, taxes have been going up, so
Yeah. Inflation in the United States has been so ridiculous that there's so many people that are homeless now that they can't
yeah.
afford life.
Hmm. But I mean, here it's like you've got your commodities here, like, like sugar, you've got chicken, coffee, all that is just like going through the roof.
Yeah.
but that's because of obviously Britain not being in the European Union. Also, uh, well, obviously the Ukraine thing kind of has something to do with it as well. I
Yeah.
suppose the gas with the energy prices as well, which have been going up. But yeah, it's just been crap, man. But and there's been worse off people than like myself and that, that have been really, really toiling. But it's just a horrible situation to be in, Mindy. Horrible.
With your leg, did they get to fix it right away?
I think in some situations, like just say for instance, you're going to get a hip surgery and so forth. There is, or knee surgery. They do have waiting lists,
Oh, okay.
but I mean, but that's it can
Is the wait
then.
list less than 6 months?
I don't know. I reckon it could be a wee bit longer,
Wow.
longer, especially now because Britain is getting so overpopulated. It's unbelievable. But anyway, away from that, right? Okay, Mindy, I'm going to ask you some questions about your
Sure.
acting. Okay. Now, listen, you're an actress, and you've been working on amazing projects. You've been working with guys like Robert Lassard and the late, what's his name,
Tom Sizemore?
Tom Sizemore. That's it. And which must have been a thrill for you. What I mean? What's your memories of working with those guys? A lot of people give their right arm to actually work with guys like Tom Sizemore. You've did it. So what was
Well,
that like
working
for
with
you?
them was really good, and working with Robert Lasardo was really good. He's been in movies such as The Mule
Mm-hmm.
and really top acting movies, and he's a really good actor as well as Tom Sizemore and a few others that I've worked with.
Mm-hmm.
And each person that I've worked with has just brought something new and something different into my realm or into my little pieces that I can bring in with me. And it's been nice because I can bring what they teach me to other films and to other movies and productions that I'll be doing. And there's a few that I've been asked to join on to. Um, and we're working out the details now. So as soon as
Mm-hmm.
I can share that, I will. But I'm just excited about the new opportunities that are coming to me, and I have a new contract with a CBD company actually,
Mm-hmm.
and basically want to help people with their inflammation and pain and stuff like that. So even though I do acting and modeling and I'm a nurse, I kind of love to look at the Eastern realm of medication as well as Western and try to combine them both. But
Mm-hmm.
with acting, I feel like I can also be a medic on set, so it's kind of nice to have those dualities to it. But I love the piece of acting only to the portions of where I can like get out these emotions that I have that I normally wouldn't be able to, like take a baseball bat to a television or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
or um, get into an argument that it's not a real argument, but it's just a full on argument that you're literally, doing up. So we've got about 10 minutes left before our recording is over.
I know.
And so I wanted to hurry up and tell you
Okay.
that it's been a joy doing these acting, and I would love to come out to Scotland and do something with you in the future. As soon as
Absolutely.
we can get things arranged or find out what film we can do together.
One of the things which kind of broke my heart was the fact that the young lad who
Yeah.
did the Romanian thing, I was really looking forward to that. I
I
was
was
really
looking
looking
forward to
forward
those
to
4 films as well.
it. And, to actually go over and film like a World War thing on, which would have been great playing Hungarian Prime Minister, which I was supposed to be doing. But
Right.
to actually work with you over there as well would have been fantastic. But listen,
Yeah.
it'll happen someday, Mindy. It'll happen
Yeah,
someday.
let's make it happen sometime.
Absolutely. Now, listen, a few years ago, you got your book out, Resilient Warrior, which I've read, and I
A
think it's
resilient warrior, yes.
very, very compelling. I should say that. But and I'm going to advertise that later on as well. But I thought it was absolutely fantastic. You must be really pleased with yourself.
I'm very proud of that
Writing a book.
book. That book is probably the most proud achievement that I've ever done.
Yeah.
Anything that's ever been done to include my degrees.
Hmm.
This has fulfilled my dreams because my grandmother actually asked me to write my book when I
Hmm.
was 18, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll write you a book." And then 20 years later, I was like, "I'm really going to write your book," because she has dementia and she's really going downhill. And so I wanted to make her proud. And when she read my book, that's the first thing that she said to me is she read it in one day on her birthday, and that she
Hmm.
was so proud of me. And and then we went into, like, she actually asked me questions about my book, and I was like, "Oh wow." Not to be rude, but she has dementia. So sometimes she's with it, and most of the time she's not. So, when you can get it, you can get it. But when she was asking me all these questions, I was like, wow, grandma, you did read it. She read it from cover to cover. So, and then on the back of it, it just shows people like the military portions that I've been in. So it brings in, the whole book is about basically my whole life. So
Hmm.
from beginning ages to high school ages, adulthood, what happened to the VA, and
Hmm.
then what I'm doing is, as far as my company goes, my next book that I'm writing is actually a children's book, and then I also have an adult book that I'm going to write, to basically succeed the healing process and show people how I've healed, what I've done, what I've taken, and give them kind of like some poetry to offer some help
Hmm.
or hope, and just to make
Hmm.
people seem to get any kind of hope if they can. Because I find if you have an ounce of hope, that's really all you need to keep yourself
Yeah.
going, and then
Uh,
you end up building it from there.
Good stuff. Right. Listen, you've got an initiative called Feed My City, don't you? I mean,
Yeah,
you've been doing that for a while now, haven't you?
I've been doing that for a long time now.
Good. Could you
So
explain to the viewers about more
sure.
about?
So I basically pick up food and produce. Basically, it's all produce, fresh fruits, organic vegetables from Ryan's Produce or anybody else that calls me up and says, "Hey, I've got fresh produce for you." And then I drop it off at the local bank where basically they give to food banks and child advocacy groups. And it's the largest one in Oregon. I've been really excited to be able to team up with these people who are willing to give me their fresh produce because it's organic, number one, and it's fresh, which a lot of the homeless and a lot of the people aren't getting as fresh foods. And most of them are pretty much adapting to McDonald's, fast foods. And as we all know, that isn't good for your health. I mean, all
Mhm.
those fried foods and all those GMOs and things that are added
Yeah.
aren't really good for your body. And so anytime that we can help, especially children that need food or people that are hungry, it's such a nice way to be able to use my time and be able to give back.
Hmm. Right. And the thing is, I mean, it's fantastic. I think nowadays people are more aware about what to eat and what not to eat, and
Sure.
especially
Some
like more
people
of.
can't do it though, unfortunately, because they want to, but the organic is $5,
Hmm.
$6, $8, $10. And
Hmm.
then they go to McDonald's and they're like, why would I do that when I can just buy a burger for $1? And it's
Yeah.
hard to help them understand, even though you're paying a little bit more, your body's going to be so better off in the
Hmm.
future.
And the thing is, as well, it's like, it's like nowadays you're just getting more younger. It's like even when you go to the gym now, you're seeing more younger guys. I'm talking 16, 17, doing more training than I could remember when I was a kid, and it's just mental, it's crazy.
It's great though. I
Oh,
think
it's
it's great that we can have all these activities for kids now, and give them something to do with their time. Because if they don't have something to do with their time, they're either going to get in trouble,
Mhm.
depressed, and that's where suicidal ideation comes in. So I'd like to stop that, or I'd like to
Absolutely.
prevent a lot of that from happening.
Absolutely. Right, Mindy, one last question to you, right? And the thing is, it's like if you were to come across a young Mindy Doherty, a 10-year-old Mindy Doherty, what advice would you give to her when she was growing up?
Get her education. Make sure that you go as far as you can with your education.
Mhm.
keep striving in the medical community and keep fighting the good fight, that basically when others are telling you no, don't listen to the no's. Keep listening to the intuition that you have that has been ingrained in me, and really help as many people as you can. Even though I'm helping myself,
Mhm.
it gives me such gratitude to really just genuinely help other people. And even in the film world, when they can see documentaries and stuff like that that we're working on, if that's something that will help thousands of people, then that's going to be great as well.
Fantastic. I'll tell you, that's great, great advice, you know, and especially with everything that you've been through. You know, you are a resilient warrior, you know, and
Thank
you
you.
know, it's like you're one of the toughest people I know. You're one of the strongest people I know, you
Thank
know, and
you.
I'm very, very proud to call you a friend. I just thought I'd tell you that, you know.
Oh, thank you very much. I am too. Because we've been friends for years now. I mean, it's been so long. I don't even remember when we met, but yeah, it's been so
Yeah,
long.
but listen, Mindy, honestly, thank you so much. We're going to have to go now. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for eventually getting on to this platform, you know, and it's
Yeah.
great. I've been honest, I've been waiting ages for you to get you on here, and this has been fantastic. I would have asked you more stuff, but there'll be another time.
Really do some more.
There'll be another time. But listen, thank you so much for coming on, and listen, hope your food gets better real soon.
Me too. I'm going to be getting into the H-bot tomorrow and doing 5 days a week from then
Yeah,
on to get that 33% extra oxygen into the bone.
absolutely. And then soon we'll be seeing you kicking a soccer ball, won't
Yeah, hopefully.
we? Okay, Mindy, listen, I'm going to leave you for now. So listen, hope you have a lovely day.
Thank you so much.
Okay, and speak to you soon. Okay,
Yeah, this was great.
okay. Bye for now, Mindy.
Have a good one.
I'll do. Bye bye.